Have you ever been in a situation where you felt wronged by someone or something, but weren't quite sure what to do about it? Maybe you've thought about hiring a lawyer, but the cost and time commitment felt overwhelming. Well, you're not alone. Filing a complaint without a lawyer might seem intimidating at first, but it is a measure that anyone can take. And the benefits of taking action can be enormous, both for yourself and for others who might be in a similar situation. In this video, we'll walk you through the process of filing a complaint without a lawyer, step by step, and provide you with all the tips you'll need to get started. Stay tuned! Hi everyone, and welcome to Legal Every Day. Our channel is all about making the law accessible and easy to understand, no matter who you are or where you come from. Whether you're a law student, a legal professional, or simply someone who's curious about how the legal system works, we're here to help. From everyday situations like traffic stops to more complex legal issues, we've got you covered. So if you're ready to dive in and learn more about the law, you're in the right place. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Thanks for joining us on this legal journey, and let's get started. Today we'll talk about something that we all love to do: complain. Whether it's about your neighbor's barking dog or the fact that your pizza had one less pepperoni than it should have, we all have complaints. But more seriously, did you know that many of the most significant changes in our society have come about as a result of regular people filing complaints and taking action? From civil rights to consumer protection to workplace safety, everyday people like you and me have played a critical role in shaping the laws and policies that govern our lives. So, if you're dealing with a landlord who won't make necessary repairs, a company that's mistreating its employees, or a government agency that denies you your benefits, filing a complaint can be a powerful tool for standing up against injustice and making a difference in the world. First, what exactly is a complaint? Well, it's not just a fancy way of saying whining. A complaint is a legal document that outlines the specific reasons why you are suing someone. It is necessary because it is the first step in starting a lawsuit. Without a complaint, there's no lawsuit, and without a lawsuit, there's little chance of getting the justice you deserve. There are many different types of complaints that can be filed in court. For example, you can file a complaint for breach of contract if you hire a contractor to renovate your kitchen, but they never show up to do the work. If you slip and fall in a grocery store because the floor was wet and there was no warning sign, you could file a personal injury complaint against the store. If you're passed over for a promotion because of your age, you could file an age discrimination complaint. But why would you file a complaint without a lawyer? Hiring a lawyer is a common recourse when we deal with legal matters. But sometimes, it's not the optimal choice. The first reason is cost. Let's be real, lawyers can be expensive. If you're on a tight budget, you may not be able to afford a lawyer. In such a situation, filing a complaint on your own can be a cost-effective option. The second reason is simplicity. Not all cases are complex enough to require an attorney. For instance, if you have a disagreement with your landlord over a small sum of money, you may be able to file a complaint in small claims court on your own. The third reason is confidence. You might feel confident enough to represent yourself in court. Maybe you've researched your rights, know the facts of your case, and understand the legal system. If that's the case, filing a complaint on your own could be the way to go. That said, keep in mind that not all cases are suitable to handle on your own. Before you file a lawsuit, you should understand the level of complexity of your case and know what type of court will handle it. Let's look at the types of courts available. First up, we have small claims courts. These are state courts that handle disputes involving a limited amount of money, typically under $10,000. Small claims courts are designed to be user-friendly and do not require to follow complex rules of procedure, making them popular for those looking to file a lawsuit on their own. So, if your neighbor's dog destroyed your flower bed and you want to sue for the cost of the flowers, small claims court is where you want to go. Next, we have state general courts. These courts are the workhorses of the judicial system and handle a wide range of cases that involve state law. In most states, there are also specialized courts, such as family court, probate court, and juvenile court. Family court handles cases involving divorce, child custody, and child support. Probate court handles wills, trusts, and estates. Juvenile court handles cases involving minors. Moving on to the federal court system, we have federal general courts. These courts hear cases that involve federal laws, the U.S. Constitution, or disputes between citizens of different states. We also have federal specialized courts, such as bankruptcy court and tax court. These courts handle specific types of cases that arise under federal law. For example, if you have a dispute with the Internal Revenue Service, you can file a lawsuit in tax court. Administrative courts are another type of court that you may encounter when filing a lawsuit on your own. These courts are often associated with government agencies and handle disputes related to regulatory or administrative matters, such as workers' compensation, social security benefits, or environmental regulations. They are designed to be less formal than traditional courts. Lastly, we have government agencies that can file a lawsuit on your behalf about specific matters. When you file a complaint with those agencies, they may investigate your claim and attempt to resolve it without going to court. If the attempt fails, they may sue your opponent in a traditional court. Examples of these agencies include the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Some of these courts have complex rules about filing lawsuits that will not be covered in this video because it would take forever to explain all of them. But don't worry. If you'd like more videos about these rules or any of the courts we mentioned, let us know in the comments below. Let's focus on the more general complaint process. The most important thing to do before filing a complaint is gathering evidence. Evidence is the backbone of any complaint. Without evidence, it's just your word against theirs, and it's difficult to prove your case. Let's talk about the types of evidence that can be used to support a complaint. The first type of evidence is physical evidence. This can include things like documents, photographs, recordings, or any other tangible items that can help prove your case. For example, if you're filing a complaint against your landlord for not making necessary repairs, you can take photographs of the damage to your apartment or save any written correspondence you've had with your landlord about the issue. The second type of evidence is testimonial evidence. This is any statement made by a witness or a person who has direct knowledge of the issue. For instance, if you're filing a complaint against a company for mistreating its employees, you can ask your colleagues to provide a statement about their experience. Another type of evidence is circumstantial evidence. This is indirect evidence that can still help support your complaint. For example, if you're filing a complaint against a company for discrimination, you can point out the lack of diversity in the workplace or patterns of biased behavior. The more evidence you have, the stronger your case will be. However, not all evidence is admissible in court. For example, evidence that was obtained illegally may not be admissible. If you'd like a video about admissible evidence, let us know in a comment down below. To organize your evidence, start by making a list of all the evidence you have. This will help you identify any gaps in your evidence and see what you need to collect. Make sure your evidence is relevant and recent. Old or irrelevant evidence can weaken your case. Organize your evidence in a logical and easy-to-follow manner. You can create a folder on your computer or use a binder to keep physical evidence. Label your evidence clearly, so it's easy to refer to when needed. Don't forget to back up your evidence. Make copies or take screenshots so you have a backup in case something happens to the original. Now that you have everything you need to make your case, it's time to put it all together and write your complaint. And let me tell you, writing a complaint is a bit like making a sandwich. You need to have all the right ingredients and put them together in just the right way to make something delicious. So, what's the recipe for a good complaint? Well, let's start with the format. Depending on the court in which you are filing your complaint, you can use any paper to draft it, but it is advisable to use a specific form provided by the court if they have one. This will help to ensure that your complaint is formatted correctly and that you include all of the necessary information. The court may also have specific requirements for the type of paper that you use. For example, the paper may need to be white, 8.5 by 11 inches in size, and have a certain weight. It is always best to check the rules and procedures of the court where you plan to file your complaint. This information can usually be found on the court's website or by contacting the court clerk's office. Generally, a complaint should include a caption. The caption is the heading of the complaint, and it includes the names of the parties to the lawsuit, the court where the lawsuit is filed, and the case number. You will include your name as the plaintiff and the name of the person or company you are suing as the defendant. A caption usually reads, John Smith, Plaintiff, versus ABC Corporation, Defendant. A statement of jurisdiction. This is a brief explanation of why the court has the power to hear the case. For example, this court has jurisdiction over this matter because the events giving rise to the claim occurred within the state of California, and both parties are located in California. A statement of the claim. This is where you will describe what happened and why you're upset about it. Specify the date when the problem occurred and the facts that led to the problem. It's also a great idea to tell what steps you've already taken to resolve the problem. For example, on June 1, 2023, ABC Corporation failed to deliver a shipment of widgets to John Smith's store, despite having promised to do so. As a result, John was forced to cancel a big sale and lost out on $10,000 in potential revenue. Despite numerous phone calls and emails to resolve the issue with ABC, they have refused to take responsibility for their failure to deliver the widgets. A claim for relief. This is where you will outline the specific remedies you are seeking. You will request the court to order the defendant to do something, such as pay money, return property, or stop doing something. For example, John Smith prays for judgment against ABC Corporation in the amount of $100,000, plus interest, costs, and attorney's fees. A signature. You must sign your complaint. In order to make a strong case, be specific. Don't just say that you're unhappy with something. Explain exactly what the problem is. Be factual. Your complaint should be based on the evidence you've gathered, not on your emotions or personal opinions. Do not exaggerate or make things up. It can be tempting to let your anger or frustration show, but emotional language will not help your case. Instead, it can distract from your argument and make you seem less credible. Stick to the facts and let the evidence speak for itself. Be polite. Even if you're angry, there's no need to be rude. Be brief. Get to the point and don't ramble. Avoid legal jargon or overly complex sentences that could confuse the judge or jury. Remember, the goal of your complaint is to convince the court that you have been wronged and deserve compensation or some other form of relief. By following these tips, you'll be well on your way to making a strong case in court. Now that you have written your complaint, it is time to file it with the court. This is usually the court where the incident happened, where the defendant is based, or where the property subject to the dispute is located. The specific filing procedures will vary from court to court, so you should contact the court system for more information. However, in general, filing is a two-step process. First, you need to complete the necessary forms. Every court will have its own forms that you need to fill out in order to file a complaint. You can usually find these forms on the court's website or by visiting the court in person. Make sure that you fill out all of the necessary information accurately and completely. Second, you will pay the filing fee. There is usually a fee associated with filing a legal complaint with the court. The amount of the fee will depend on the court and the type of case you are filing. If you cannot afford the filing fee, you may be able to request a fee waiver. So, you've prepared this wonderful complaint and filed it in court. What are the next steps? Well, first, you'll serve the defendant. You need to make sure that the defendant is aware of the lawsuit. This is usually done by serving the defendant with a copy of the complaint and a summons. A summons is a legal document that is typically issued by a court or other legal authority to inform a defendant that they are being sued and that they must appear in court on a certain date to respond to the allegations in the complaint. You can hire a professional process server to do this for you, or you may be able to have the local sheriff's department or a friend serve the defendant. Second, wait for a response. After the defendant has been served with the complaint, they will usually have a certain amount of time, typically 20 to 30 days, to file a response. The response will usually either admit or deny the allegations in the complaint and may include counterclaims or defenses. Next, attend any necessary hearings. Depending on the court and the type of case, there may be one or more hearings or conferences that you need to attend before the case goes to trial. These might include a scheduling conference, a mediation session, or a pretrial conference. And that concludes our video on how to file a complaint without a lawyer. I hope you found the information helpful and feel empowered to take on the process on your own. Now, we want to hear from you. What are some of the craziest complaints you've ever heard of? Have you ever had to file a complaint yourself? How did it go? Do you have any additional tips or insights that you'd like to share with our community? And if you have any other legal topics that you'd like to see us cover in future videos, we'd love to hear those too. Just leave a comment below. And did you know that the average person files about 10 complaints per year?
Wow!
That's a lot of complaining. But hey, it's a free country. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more informative content. We'll see you next time.